So I recorded this video yesterday, and I recorded it for a while, and I was cracking up. And you know how, like, when you're a kid and you see a part in the movie that you think is really funny, you keep rewinding it, and you're just dying laughing. You almost hyperventilate. You're laughing so much, and then eventually it's not funny anymore because you just overdone it. Well, that's what happened yesterday with this video. So I recorded it, and it eventually got to be unfunny, and then I realized that my microphone was turned off, so the entire recording was worthless. I tried to record it again, but I couldn't force it, so I wanted to sit on it and see if I could do it today and see if this would be funny again. But guys, I put out a video where I said that Rod Martin, the way he handled Al Mohler's secret private phone call where he said the opposite of what he said publicly, and we're all supposed to be okay with that, I said that that was naive. And a couple hours after I posted that video, some people reached out to me and said, dude, Adam, you're wrong on this. You're wrong on this. Rod is not naive. Rod is a genius. And they explained to me that they thought what he was doing was he was revealing Al Mohler's little scam that he runs on people, where he gets the private phone call that says the opposite of what he said publicly, and that pacifies most people. Instead, he wasn't being naive. Instead, he was exposing it in such a way that Al Mohler cannot deny. That Al Mohler cannot say, well, you're just trying to hurt me. You're just against me. That he exposed it in a nice way, so everyone could see how obviously ridiculous this was. And everyone did see, by the way. So the message was received, Rod. But he did it in a way that makes him come off squeaky clean, and it really cannot be denied by Al Mohler. It's a trap, essentially. 4D chess of the highest order. Now, I didn't know what to believe, because a lot of very smart people were saying, look, dude, Adam, you got Rod all wrong on this. You don't know him. I do. This is what he's doing. Some people said, no, that's not what he's doing. Either way, though, I was like, the more I thought about it, the more I looked at the tweet, the more I thought about Rod's behavior in the tweet exchange, I was like, you know what? Rod is playing 4D chess here. Hold on, let me have some of this delicious coffee. It's got coconut milk in it. Anyway, so somebody sent this to me. This is the Founders Ministries podcast, and there's a segment in here that I think pretty much proves beyond all doubt that Rod Martin knows exactly what's going on with Al Mohler, and that I was wrong. He is not naive, and this is gold, my friends, gold. Let's watch this. Check this out.
For decades, my entire life, we've been fighting this stuff out in the non-church world.
So he's talking about critical theory. He's talking about intersectionality, and how basically this push has been going on in the pagan world, the secular world, the non-Christian world for decades, and now it's in the Christian world. So he wants to make sure to sound the alarm and do what he can to fight it in his circles because he cares deeply about the church. But listen.
And now it's come into the church world, and I'm sure some of these guys don't realize the fire they're playing with and don't mean anything ugly by it, but still, these ideas are unchristian. Thank you, Owen and Jason Allen, for calling it unchristian the other day. Midwestern Seminary's come out strong on this. I'm proud of them. Al Mohler came out strong on this in the briefing 2 days after Resolution 9 passed. I appreciated that. In any case...
Did you catch that? Did you see that face? Let's rewind that. Let's see that one again.
The other day, Midwestern Seminary's come out strong on this.
Okay, so what is he setting the stage? He's saying, he's glad that some people are pushing back, and he cites Midwestern Seminary for saying that critical theory is unchristian and stuff like that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But then he talks about Al Mohler, and watch the face that he makes right after. Just watch.
I'm proud of them. Al Mohler came out strong on this in the briefing 2 days after Resolution 9 passed. I appreciated that. In any case...
Look at that face! Did you see that? Dude, you can't tell me that this man doesn't know exactly what has gone on. Look at this face. Let's do it one more time.
Days after Resolution 9 passed. I appreciated that.
I appreciated that. And then look at this grin. Al Mohler came out strong 2 days after it was already too late. I appreciated that. That's gold, man. That is gold. Rod Martin, bravo. I need to take some lessons on how this 4D chess nothing happened. By the way, this whole podcast is worth listening to. One of the things that I'm not in the SBC, and I know that I'm going to be joining an OPC church in a couple of months, which I know is going to drive a lot of you people in Napark crazy that I'm going to be doing that. But one of the things that this podcast has made me realize, and we're going to play this again. Let's cue it up. Look at that face. One of the things this has made me realize is I've said this many times on my channel that I find the political side of this, like the maneuverings and the operational things and the procedural maneuverings that happen at these meetings, I find that gross. I find it distasteful. I want no part of it. I just don't like it. I find it icky. I'm just not interested in it. It's not fun for me. The procedural maneuverings, and I'm going to do this, and the Robert's Rules of Order. I hate that stuff. I really do. I'd rather just talk to my YouTube audience all day long and rant and rave like a psychopath. But I'm going to have to get over that. I'm going to have to get over that, man. This podcast, one of the things that I took away from it, there's a lot in this podcast, but one of the things I took away is that I need to get over that disgust with the procedures and the things like that, and I need to learn how to play the game a little bit. And that's not to say that I need to, only play by their rules. I've already said many times we don't play by Big Eva's rules anymore. But if we're going to change the game, we got to change it sometimes from the inside, and I think that there's some value in that. There's some value in playing this game a little bit, so long as it doesn't compromise yourself, as long as you do it in an uncompromised way, in a way that doesn't, first, your first consideration is what will God have me do, of course. And I think that men like Rod Martin and Tom Ascol are figuring out, how do I do that? How do I stay faithful to the Lord, but at the same time work with these procedures and processes and organizations that maybe they're not ideal in my opinion, but you got to do it, kind of thing. So I pray for these guys, I really do. But anyway, this is interesting because I'm pretty confident that Rod was attempting to play 4D chess there, and I think playing it pretty well, because everyone who pushed back on me about my video regarding Rod Martin and the tweet were like, dude, obviously Al Mohler was being critical. And so Rod did a big part. It did a big thing by exposing that. Even people that didn't like the criticism of Al Mohler are recognizing that there's some duplicity here. Here's what people are saying. Like a few months ago, people were saying this to me about Al Mohler. How could you stand against? He's a conservative of the highest order. He's got a track record. That's what people were saying 4 months ago. Now what they're saying is, look, I know it looks bad. I know he's constantly punching right. I know it seems very duplicitous, but what you don't understand, AD, is that he's trying to play the game from his way. And you might not like how he plays it, but he's still trying. So there's been some movement here. We're moving that Overton window here, because the conversation now in many people who were very staunchly pro Al Mohler, it's impossible that he's doing what you're saying he's doing. Now they're saying, no, he's definitely doing that, but he's doing it they think for a noble cause. I'm not convinced of that. I don't think Al Mohler is acting for a noble cause in the way with what he's doing. I leave that option open, but I don't think so. I think that the evidence is in. We've seen this for years at this point. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm going to play this one more time. And actually, I will play the video that I made hours after I dropped the video critical of Rod Martin. Because as soon as I heard the alternative explanation for his tweet, it seemed to make sense to me. It really did. I'm not saying it's definitely true. I don't know the man, but it certainly seems like it's true. Let's have some more coffee here. Anyway, more to come on all this stuff, but I hope that you found this video helpful. Stay tuned for that video, because I thought it was pretty funny. We'll play this one more time. But before we finish, no despair, baby. No despair. If you want a no despair t-shirt, if you want a way to support the AD Robles YouTube channel with getting something in return, these shirts are awesome. I put it on display there for all to see. You can get them at confessionalwear.com, and I appreciate it. They're a really cool conversation starter, and I think quite stylish. No despair 2020, baby. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. God bless.
Owen and Jason Allen for calling it unchristian the other day. Midwestern Seminary's come out strong on this. I'm proud of them. Al Mohler came out strong on this in the briefing 2 days after Resolution 9 passed. I appreciated that.
Look at that face, man. And I like how he goes, you could tell the voice inflection. Al Mohler, because it's like surprising almost. It's like he's like, this is funny because given his track record of being a conservative stalwart for decades, it shouldn't be surprising that he came out against this. But the way he says it, this is genius, my friend. This is genius. Al Mohler came out strong again. It's like shocking that he did, and he knows it is shocking to a lot of people these days. This is interesting, man. I like this. One more side note, Midwestern. I don't know if Midwestern appreciates being put on the coming out strong against critical theory and the liberal downgrade in this SBC convention, but Rod Martin put them squarely in that camp. Owen and Jason Allen, they're now in the supposedly strong against critical race theory camp, and I'm glad about that. I'm not so sure they appreciate that, though. They seem to be the kind that like to play ball a little bit. But look at this smile. Look at this smile. Anyway, enjoy the video. God bless. If you don't know me, then one thing you should know about me is that I'm very open to being wrong, especially when it's matters that have a lot to do with my opinion. And on the last video regarding Al Mohler's, Jedi mind tricks, his scam, the scam where you say you're conservative and then you always punch right and soft hand the left. That's a scam that a lot of people know about. But there's something regarding Rod Martin that somebody put forward as an idea that there could be some merit to it. I'm not gonna lie, and maybe you call me naive for accepting this, but I think if this is true, mind blown, seriously. So somebody said to me, this is not naive, AD. This is Rod Martin saying, you know what? I can reveal the duplicity of so much of Al Mohler's nonsense, this scam that he runs, where he says something publicly to get his progressive bona fides, but then he secretly, well, I'm conservative just like you. He can reveal his duplicity in a way that can't be denied and can't be like, oh, he's just trying to hurt me. Because listen. He says, update, Al reached out to me to say that he did not intend his comment to be critical. I'm grateful for that, and I wanted to share it with you. I will leave this here for context. And in the span of a few sentences, he shows the obviously critical tweet from Al Mohler, and then he says, well, he called me and said he wasn't critical of it. I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? He's basically showing you how duplicitous this whole thing is in a way that makes him come off squeaky clean. Now, I don't know Rod Martin. I don't know if he's operating on this level, but if he is, hats off to you, sir. That is 4D chess of the highest order. I really appreciate that if that's what he's doing here. If that's what he's doing here, then I have to, he got me. He got me, and good on you, because that's the opposite of naive. That is strategic genius. That is Grand Admiral Thrawn level genius, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Hope this was helpful. God bless.